Hey Jim. How you doing? We now have our dedicated amber ale poured for you. You heard me mention that idea of balance last time. This is actually something that you don't know Peter. This is Peter from the Better Beer blog. Check him out online. He actually asked me a good question last week when he was interviewing me. Yeah, great blog. He asked me a great question. He talked about I talked about the idea of balance. He said, "So is that your philosophy behind your beer?" I guess I never really thought about that idea of having a philosophy behind beer, but I guess that's it. To bring balance to beer, and I think that's why I've fit in really well at Devil's Canyon, is that we have that idea of balance in our beer, that we can use this vast array of raw materials that we have to work with and create beers that aren't just one note, hit you over the head with hops or hit you over the head with alcohol. We can create beers that bring a lot of different aspects to them and really bring like a well-rounded enjoyment of the product. So that's what I try to bring to our beers, and I think that's really what makes our beers uniquely suited to pair with food. The different aspects of them, I think, fit really well with the different aspects of what the chef can put on a plate for you. And I think you're going to find that quite a bit here in our amber ale, like our blonde ale, very well balanced, but in a slightly different way. We're moving more towards the darker malts now, like that chocolate malt that's in front of you, the caramel malt that's in front of you. It also has some roasted malt in it, so you're going to taste caramel, you're going to taste coffee, but again, very balanced with a pretty strong hop component. This beer actually uses Cascade and Willamette. Cascade is the hop that's in front of you. As I said, citrusy, grapefruity, spicy, piney, very aromatic, and that balances out those really rich malt tones as well. So that's our amber ale, and I'm sure the chef will be back out to introduce the dish. Enjoy.
What's your percent of alcohol?
The lager and the blonde. The lager is about 5.4% alcohol. The blonde's about 6.3%. The amber is again about 5.4% alcohol. Habanero and IPA they had outside. Habanero is about 5.4 again. IPA is much up more up there, about 8.1.
What was the blonde again? The blonde
about 6.3.
That's pretty high for a lager, huh?
Or the lager is actually about 5.4.
Oh.
And the blonde ale is about 6.3.
This blonde lager, you can pair it with Cheerios in there.
There you go. Hey, all right. There we go. This guy's breakfast. Yeah. Enjoy.
Get that poo-poo, yeah. Nope.
Very nice. Hey, Jeff. Okay. We all enjoying dinner so far?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. We've got our Scotch ale on the table for you now. All right. As I said, we've got our Scotch ale on the table for you now. This one is much more malt apparent. What makes a Scotch ale, as I said earlier, is the addition of peated malt, which is barley that has been smoked over a fire of burning peat. Peat is basically rotting earth. I know that doesn't sound very sexy, but I know what it is. So this is what they make Scotch whiskey with as well, is the peated malt. So they'll use 100% peated malt. We actually use just 1% peated malt in this beer, but that smoky, earthy, almost meaty flavors, you'll still find it very apparent. But again, going back to the idea of balance, there's a lot of Scotch ales out there that'll just hit you over the head with that. But bringing balance into this beer, we balance it with chocolatey flavors, coffee flavors. You'll find them all very well balanced throughout the beer. And we use Northern Brewer and Willamette hops in this. The Northern Brewer just brings a slight sort of woody, earthy, minty aroma and flavor to it. But this beer is a little bit more weighted towards the malt. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty psyched for this one. Enjoy everything.
We still have no problem sampling. Matter of fact, wait a minute. We have to reconsider one of the beers. We'll be right back. Thanks a lot for coming. Really good.
Very good. Very nice.
Yeah.
Great pairing, too. I'll tell you.
Thank you very much. Good.
Very good. You close at midnight?
We have plenty in the keg.
Two.
We have on the table for you now our Devil's Canyon Brew Beer, which is brewed by our owners, Chris and Christiane. And it really has this beautiful aroma of like herbs and vanilla. And the thing that I appreciate most about it is there's a very complex sweetness to it. You know, most root beers that you'll get, they're probably, if you're lucky, they're brewed with cane sugar. If you're not lucky, they're probably brewed with corn syrup. Ours is actually made with organic cane sugar. It's also made with agave nectar and locally produced honey, which I feel gives it a really complex sweetness to it. And you'll definitely taste it in there. It's really fantastic. Should I wrap up? You guys want to get up and say goodbye? Okay, well, I guess I'll just say thank you. I mean, as the brewer, this is why we slave away every day to make this for you, to see you guys enjoying it, to have it paired with some fantastic food. So thank you all for coming out and drinking the fruits of our labor. It means a lot. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming into, a local restaurant, drinking some good local beer, and, having a good time with it, Hopefully everybody made a friend here, and go out into your community, and if your favorite bar and restaurant doesn't have Devil's Canyon, yell at them. Make sure it gets on there real quick. So, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. I really appreciate it.
Where do we find your product?
Here. What? Here. Here. We have our Amber Ale on draft here, which is just, one of the great beers.
Scotch Ale on the way.
Scotch Ale on the way. Great. And then also it's on our website. Please check us out, devilscanyon.com. All our draft locations are there too.
You have to be 18 now to get on that.
Or you can watch.
Some of the ladies might have to
participate, the better be. So thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mike.
Hey, Jim, thank you very much. Well done, Mike.
Thank you. Okay. We came in here. We're looking for a good outlet here in Los Gatos to do this beer dinner, and we came in with Mike, and Mike was all about it, and he was a great person to work with. He took all of our beers that are complicated and award-winning and made completely new and interesting menu items from them, which is just a really, really fun thing for us to do. And as you can tell, the beer pairings were spot on, and it was just us working together, and him wanting to do this, and us feeling that the industry needs this, to come in and to get these, to prove that beer can stand up to these fine foods, this Michelin star rated foods like wine can, and even more so. And that's pretty much what the genesis was, why we did this, is to prove that high-end beer will meet high-end food. And, Mike was all about it and went about it, and we made an event that was really fun. Cool. That's about it. Yeah.